Hello and welcome. Welcome to Everyday Knitter on Substack, and welcome to the first and what I hope is going to be the start of a series of Everyday Knitter podcasts. I've been meaning to start a podcast for such a long time. I think for at least 5 years, I've had start a podcast at the top of my to-do lists for the year, and every year I have ignored the start a podcast. But this year I'm going to go for it. It's 2025. It's a new year, a new start, and I'm just trying new things, and seeing what happens. So, in that spirit, I've decided just to embrace what I have in my little spare room here, and just have a go and just talk to you guys, yeah, and see what happens. I'm a big fan of a saying by a guy called Arthur Ashe, who was the first Black Wimbledon champion, I think, back in the day. And he always used to say, I don't get this the right way around now, you start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. And I think that's a really good place to start from. We're all beginners at some things, and it can be really hard to go back to a place where you don't know what you're doing. Um, it's quite daunting in many respects. I mean, I've been writing and blogging online for years, with my own website. I've been doing pattern sales, but it's easy to forget that there was a time when I didn't actually know what I was doing with my website, and I didn't know what I was doing blogging. And now I do, and those things are kind of second nature. Podcasting is something that I've always had firmly in the that's for other people category. Yeah, that's not for the likes of me. I don't podcast, because you often see, very polished, very professional podcasts, and that's not me. I'm not very polished. I'm not very professional, but yeah, I'm a knitter. I'm a knitter just like you, and it would be just nice to sit down and just chat, just show you what I'm working on, talk about a few things that have made me smile recently, like I do with my Friday newsletters, but just in a different format. So I'm going to try and keep these fairly short, fairly focused. I'm going to aim for once a month, and see how we get on. I don't want to kind of overpromise and then just ghost you completely. So I'm going to aim for a podcast at the start of each month where I might do a little roundup of what I've been working on and what I've got coming up. So I've got my cup of coffee. You're very welcome to join me. Grab your beverage of choice. I thought I would start just by literally, just the postman's just come just before I set this up. So I will show you what's just arrived in the post, which is two lovely skeins of yarn from, I promise I didn't set this up. They really did just arrive just now. So a British indie dyer called Skein Queen. Hopefully you can see that okay. Two skeins of gorgeous sock yarn for a couple of patterns that I've got coming up in the next few months. If you haven't seen them, I've got a series of sock yarn, a series of sock patterns, all themed around new moons. So you know how new moons are often named for different times of year. So we've just had Snow Moon, which is obviously like a wintry theme. And yeah, so each month I'm going to be doing a new sock pattern based on the moon for that month. So these are going to be two upcoming sock patterns. This one is called Antique Map, which I think is a lovely, there we go, lovely colour. And then this one is called Abyss, which I really don't think the light will show it very well, but it's kind of purples and there we go, purples and dark blues and greens as well. And it's just lovely. It's really deep. So that's her Abyss colourway. So her Abyss yarn base, which is a merino nylon blend. And that's going to be great. I'm going to look forward to doing those. And on my needles at the minute, you might have seen on my Instagram or various other places, I've got stripy sock yarn. So I always like to have some socks on the go. And this is my travel project at the minute, which I'm really enjoying working on. It's from, there we go. It's from a company called Earth Yarns, which is spelt URTH. I'll put the link in the notes at the bottom. But Earth Yarns are great. They do a lot of sort of sustainable fibres, and yeah, they're just really nice. And I've just dropped the yarn ball on the floor, so bear with. But it actually comes as a kit, so you get two 50-gram pre-wound balls of yarn, and the idea is it gives you two perfectly matched socks. So I do like a matchy sock. So I've got this one, which is on my little mini wooden circular needle. When I'm on the train, I quite like to use that one because there's just less. You don't need so much elbow room. And the other sock, which is a similar. So there are two socks. I promise. I'm not just holding up. There we go. I'm not just holding up one sock twice. This is on a longer circular needle, so I magic loop that one, and it's quite nice because when I magic loop, I use the yarn in my left hand and knit continental. When I use the little circular needles, I find it just easier to get tension if I knit with the yarn in my right hand, and I more of a throwing style. So it's quite useful just to be able to vary the two. I do love the little mini circular needles, but they are quite difficult on your hands. You have to kind of stop and stretch a few times. So to avoid RSI and other things that we don't want, it's nice to kind of vary them. So those are my socks on the go at the minute, and I'd quite like to get them done by the end of this. Well, by I'm recording this on the 29th of February. Sorry, 29th of January. So I'd quite like to have them done for February, and then I can start some new socks because that's always nice, isn't it? And then what have I got? Oh yeah, on my reading list at the minute, I've got a show you. So that's on my Kindle at the minute. So that's Naomi Novik's. It's the Temeraire series, which is about dragons. Um, very sort of, it's set in the Napoleonic era, and it's very. It's just a really good reader. I love Naomi Novik's writing anyway. I think she's such a good author. And the Temeraire series is one. I think there's maybe not sure how many books are in the series. I haven't dared look actually. I think there might be 7 or 8 books in the series, but it seems like a really good series to get your teeth into. So I'm really enjoying reading that at the minute. And that's all I've got on my needles at the minute. That's what I'm up to. Bear with. So yeah, that's hopefully giving you a little flavour of what I'm going to try and do with the podcast over the next few months. Let me know what you think. It would be really nice to, as I say, I want to try and do this once a month and just connect with people in a different way. So thank you very much for watching. Next time I will have to, I say, I'm in my spare room at the minute, and the walls are a little bare, so I think I'll have to kind of decorate my little space a little more. This is the room that my husband, he works from home sometimes, and he works in this room. And he always complains when he's on Zoom calls that the lighting's like you're in the bottom of a swamp. And I see what he means. The lighting is terrible. So I will try and have a look at that and see what I can do to brighten things up a little. I think I might need some greenery or some plants or something. But thank you very much for watching, and I will catch up with you again soon. Thank you.